Welcome, I am Ava, and this is WNBA Trending. Today's headline focuses on a powerful and candid statement from one of the greatest players in women's basketball, A'ja Wilson, the two-time MVP, WNBA champion, and the unmatched leader of the Las Vegas Aces. Wilson recently said something that sparked massive debate across the basketball world, that the fanfare around Caitlin Clark erased WNBA history for a moment. This comment has stirred conversations about recognition, legacy, visibility, and the evolution of women's basketball. A'ja Wilson's words didn't come from jealousy, disrespect, or rivalry. They came from frustration built over years, frustration shared by many WNBA veterans who watched the league grow, fight, and survive long before the Caitlin Clark era. Her message was not about diminishing Clark's impact, but highlighting something deeper. The WNBA existed long before, and its legends deserve to be part of the conversation, not forgotten the moment a new superstar arrives. A'ja Wilson began by acknowledging Caitlin Clark's incredible rise, the sold-out arenas, the television records, the merchandise boom, and the unprecedented national spotlight on the sport. Clark's arrival undeniably changed the financial and cultural landscape of the WNBA. But Wilson emphasized a key point. Many of the league's trailblazers never got the recognition they deserved, and the sudden surge in attention made some people act as if women's basketball only began in 2024. Wilson said that sometimes, when media coverage focuses entirely on Clark, it creates a momentary illusion that the league didn't have legends before her. Players like Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Tamika Catchings, Maya Moore, Candace Parker, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Tina Thompson, and so many more who carried the league for decades. Wilson explained that when new fans and large media platforms poured in because of Clark, she saw a wave of people praising Clark while simultaneously ignoring or even disrespecting the players who have been building the foundation of women's basketball for 28 years. That's why Wilson said that for a moment, WNBA history felt erased, not intentionally, but because the attention became so overwhelmingly focused on Clark that everything else blurred. A'ja Wilson made it clear, this is not Clark's fault. In fact, Wilson has repeatedly praised Clark's competitiveness, skill, vision, and relentless work ethic. She respects Clark's ability to bring new fans into the sport. What Wilson criticized was the narrative created around Clark, not Clark herself. She pointed out something many veterans agree with, that the media sometimes tends to elevate one new star while ignoring the hundreds of players who have been grinding, sacrificing, and building the league for decades. Wilson wants balance, recognition, context, a richer appreciation of the game. Wilson said that part of the issue is the way mainstream media talks about the WNBA. New fans often enter the scene because of a popular rookie, and instead of learning the history, they judge the league solely through that one lens. This leads to misunderstandings, unrealistic comparisons, or disrespectful comments directed toward players who have achieved far more and carried far heavier burdens. Wilson reminded fans that the WNBA has been filled with greatness for decades, but the world wasn't paying attention then. She said it's painful when people suddenly become WNBA experts after watching a few highlights without understanding the journey of players who have been here for 10 or 15 years. A'ja Wilson herself is a major part of WNBA history. She's a two-time MVP, a two-time champion, a defensive powerhouse, and one of the best players of her generation. It's no surprise she feels the weight of the moment. She's seen the league evolve from struggling for TV time to selling out arenas and trending daily on social media. But Wilson isn't upset about newcomers like Clark. She's upset that the recognition of the players who built the league often comes too late. That's why her comment is so important. She said that WNBA players, especially black women who have carried the league's weight for years, deserve acknowledgement for their contributions. She said that many of today's stars like Jonquil Jones, Nneka Ogwumike, Alyssa Thomas, Breanna Stewart, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and Brittany Griner rarely receive the same media praise, even though their resumes and contributions are enormous. Wilson noted that for years, the WNBA lacked marketing, coverage, and storytelling. Now that Clark is bringing national attention, Wilson hopes this spotlight can shine on everyone, not just one player. She wants the growth to be shared, celebrated, and evenly distributed across the league. Wilson's comments have opened up an important cultural conversation. Many fans agree with her. Many veterans support her. Some have even expressed relief, saying they've been waiting for someone to speak up about the imbalance of attention. Clark's arrival has helped boost ticket sales, viewership, sponsorships, and the global profile of women's basketball. But Wilson wants new fans to learn the history, to understand the sacrifices of players who played for low salaries, long travel schedules, and limited resources, yet still kept the league alive. A'ja Wilson also emphasized that she holds no personal animosity toward Clark. In fact, she sees Clark as someone who will continue to lift the league. But she wants to make sure the people who paved the way aren't pushed aside just because the league finally has mainstream visibility. Wilson said athletes deserve to be seen as whole humans, not just competitors but pioneers. She wants new fans to appreciate what the league has gone through. The early struggles, the lack of media coverage, the fights for equal facilities, and the long battle for respect. Fans and analysts have noted that this conversation is not about Clark versus Wilson. It's about coverage, representation, and fairness. It's about giving credit where credit is due. When Wilson said the fanfare around Clark erased history for a moment, she meant that the overwhelming media focus briefly overshadowed decades of achievements. But now that more voices are speaking up, she hopes the spotlight expands. Wilson ended her statement by saying she wants the league to grow, not just through one storyline, but through all of them. She said the WNBA has always had greatness, but now the world finally has a chance to see it. And she wants that spotlight to widen so everyone gets the recognition they deserve. This moment marks a turning point for women's basketball. More attention, more debate, more knowledge. All signs of growth. A'ja Wilson is fighting for fairness, equality, and respect. Caitlin Clark is bringing in new eyes, new fans, and new energy. Together, both stories matter. Both legacies are important. And both women are shaping the future of the WNBA. For WNBA Trending, I'm Ava. This has been your full report on A'ja Wilson's powerful comments and what they mean for the past, present, and future of the league.